Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the month of March 2023 and the life path forecast for the month ahead. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss when I post. And of course, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Personal month forecasts, which will include, of course, the moon forecasts, those will be coming sometime next week, I anticipate, so keep your eye out for those. And of course, they are different from the life path forecasts, and they do have different calculations. So be aware of that, and definitely check yours out once they land. Like I said, I expect that to be sometime next week. This, of course, is a general reading. For a personal reading or a coaching with numerology session with me, you can book some time with me. Of course, my information is in the description box below to do that. Okay, so March 2023 is 10-1 energy. So you may have seen some things close out in the month of February. Some things coming to fruition, completion, things falling away, creating a clean slate, right? So March, we have this beautiful clean slate to create whatever it is that we wish to create, to take some big risks, to take some some initiations, to initiate some new things, right? To be somewhat aggressive in that approach and to go after what it is that our hearts desire. This, of course, is going towards those sort of individual goals, those big new starts when it comes to self. The one energy is very much focused on self and identity and going after, again, what it is that we feel called to go after at this moment, and what it is that we feel called to create or initiate, and to do that in a way that, again, we're taking the initiative to do that. One energy forces us to take the initiative to get started on something. And it may look different than what we had anticipated it would look like. And a lot of times with one energy, that's very normal. It can be so outside the box that a lot of people don't understand it, and that's okay. Follow your instincts, follow your intuition, follow your heart at this time, and really take those big risks on the things that really speak to you the most. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the individual life path forecast, taking all this into consideration. Life path 33.6. So your animal wisdom comes from Owl for March. This is incredibly beautiful energy. This is very focused energy, very much like seeing beyond the veil, clarity, seeing beyond the illusions, cutting through the BS type thing, seeing things for how they truly are as opposed to maybe how you want them to be or how you're expecting them to be, sort of seeing the reality of the situation. So again, it's like you think of the owl, they hunt at night. They have incredible vision, and they can cut through the darkness, right? Through the shadows, through, someone's trying to put up some kind of smoke and mirrors. This month, you're going to be able to see right through it, right? So this is also this energy of psychic powers. So your psychic channels kind of being wide open this month, where you might get some downloads, or you might just get some vibes or feel the vibes around something or someone. Trust the vibe, right? Because your sort of spidey senses are going to be peaked this month with Owl coming through. It's also this energy of observing, being very observant of your surroundings and the situation and of people, maybe having your poker face on a little bit and being very present during conversations or when people are talking and what they're saying, because people can divulge things about their intentions through their words without realizing they're doing that type thing. And so this is going to be a time where you're not just kind of sitting waiting to answer, but you're really observing and you're present and you're listening. And then you make decisions from that observation, right? So it's it's a very being very, very present kind of energy. And again, you're going to be very sort of tuned into, which 33s you already pretty much are, but you're going to be very tuned into the energy field, right? So you're going to be able to pick up on, not only what people are saying, but what they're their sort of energy field is laying out, right? Because it's always, the energy is never going to lie, right? The vibe is not going to lie. What you feel around something is usually pretty accurate. People can say anything they want, but if the vibe doesn't match the words, I would go with the vibe type thing. And so with owl energy coming through, your channels are going to be very open to be able to do that. And it doesn't necessarily, we can always interpret the energy inaccurately, right? So give the person the benefit of the doubt, hear what they have to say, and kind of go from there. But if you are presented with some kind of opportunity, or if somebody has some kind of, I don't know, wants to work together or a partnership, I would really take into consideration the vibe and the words and the fine print, right? Just pay attention to all that, because you're really going to be hyper tuned into whatever is presented to you this month with owl coming through. And trust that, right? Trust what you're feeling around something, or the guidance that you're getting that you might not be able to make logical sense of, right? Just kind of pay attention to all that, because there's a lot of very ethereal energy coming in for you all this month with owl. Now, for the actual numerology, you all are actually working with 42/6 energy. So this is beautiful. This is a finding common ground with people, blending of ideas. So again, there's a very strong likelihood that you may have an opportunity to collaborate with people this month, to work with others, to share ideas. And then not only share those ideas, but find ways to blend those ideas towards a common goal. This can also be a month where settlements are completed in a really harmonious way. Things just sort of come together, or sort of mend in a really beautiful way without a tremendous amount of effort. It's you may have already put the effort forth, and now things are kind of coming together. I would say the key words for you all this month are really going to be cooperative, loving, forgiving, that sort of thing. Not to the point of where you self-sacrifice or that you override your own values or anything like that. There's definitely this very cooperative energy coming through. Now, I would also say with that, to take into consideration owl energy, where you're going to have access to, you always do, but even more so, it's very much heightened this month. We're going to have access to that vibration, right? Feeling into whatever this is, and then really trusting that. But this is a very cooperative energy, the 42/6. So you might find that people are more willing to work with you, or more open to your ideas, or more open or receptive to coming together and mending or healing relationships that maybe were a little bit turbulent. That's very possible. Again, honor your innermost feelings now, and whatever surfaces for you, through that softer, more sensitive energy, ask yourself, how do I really feel about this situation or this person? And how can I honor those feelings, right? Because if you're constantly showing up to someone who you feel out of alignment with, or who you're not getting in return the energy or the exchange of energy that you're putting out or that you're giving, there might be something deeper there to explore. And it may be that the way you feel about the situation is one way, but the obligation that you feel towards the situation is another way. And so this month, you're really being asked to really look at the way you feel about it, because usually the energy is not, I've never seen the energy lie. The energy is not going to lie, right? The energy is what it is. It's present, and we can do what we want with it, right? We can feel the energy. Okay, this feels off, but I have these obligations in the physical realm, and so I have to do whatever, right? So now we're not in congruence with the way we feel and the way that things are. So you just need to kind of look at that this month. And then if you feel really strongly about something, this is going to be a month where you are very supported to make some changes and to find some common ground. But that common ground may mean that you need to release something, or move away from something, or change something in some way, where you are compromising, but you're not self-sacrificing, because there's a big difference there. So I would also say, again, anywhere that you can sort of infuse love and cooperation needs to be sort of exercised now. Don't let misunderstandings lead to separation and loneliness. Now, if you feel like something is not working, or you feel like something is off, If that needs to lead to a separation, then that needs to lead to a separation. You need to trust where your heart is guiding you, where you're feeling the vibration, where it's guiding you. But if it's because of something like pride or ego getting in the way, and it's because of a misunderstanding, and you're not getting the apology or the recognition or the acknowledgement or whatever, and you're sort of holding on to that grudge or not being able to forgive or whatever, that can lead to separation and loneliness where it doesn't need to, right? Because a lot of times, and especially if you're 33, you're going to find that in a lot of situations, you have to be the bigger person. It just sort of is what it is, right? It just is the way it plays out, and it's just part of that journey. So that can be difficult, and that can be difficult as a human, you're right, with like an ego, because there are times that it would be really nice if we got an apology, or if somebody owned up to or acknowledged their misbehavior or their poor behavior or whatever, or their poor deeds or whatever. But that's not always the case. And especially when you're working with such a big energy like the 33, a lot of times on this journey, you're going to be the bigger person, or you need to be the bigger person, right? And that's going to bring the results that you're looking for, as opposed to holding a grudge or holding that need for the other person to acknowledge or own up to or whatever before you can move forward. There's just a lot there. So this month you may see some situations present themselves, or some relationships or whatever that need mending, where you're going to have to be the bigger person if you want it to move forward, right? Or if you want it to if you want to find common ground, if you want to heal whatever that is, if you want to move on and release whatever that is. In any circumstance, it may be that you have to be the bigger person to initiate the healing, to initiate the common ground, whatever. But chances are, if you're listening to this, you're sort of used to that. You're sort of used to being in that position where it's like, okay, I have to take the higher road here. It would be nice if they would meet me halfway. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? So this could be a month for that, where you're kind of called upon called to do that again. So, but again, usually what that releases us from, what that creates, is worth it in the end. So just weigh those options. But overall, beautiful energy for you all this month. A lot of healing energy could come through, a lot of opportunities for growth and movement forward, and again, like healing energy. So really, really beautiful overall. So I hope it's a very beautiful, prosperous, enjoyable month for you all. Take care, 33s. Thanks so much for being here. Bye for now.